5 or 6 minutes away from the start as the athletes come out onto the track, and there she is, Joan Benoit, 27 years old, from the state of Maine, who won the Olympic marathon trial in Olympia, Washington in early May. Joan Benoit, one of the favorites. Let's meet her up close and personal, narrated by Jim McKay.
This is the state of Maine as the tourists see it. Clean air, warm summer breeze, fishing, T-shirts to take back home that say Vacation Land USA. It's the Maine that Maine people sell to the rest of us. It's beautiful, but it's not the real Maine. The real Maine is rock-ribbed and unyielding, all wild waves and quiet woods and time to be alone. This is the Maine that real Mainers love, way down east among the pine trees. Joan Benoit, who just might win the first women's marathon ever seen in the Olympics, chooses to restore a century-and-a-half-old house here, because this is home.
I love the outdoors. I love the ocean. It's just something that grows on you, and I don't think that anybody who's not a Mainer can understand it. It's something very special.
Down Maine, they look you over carefully, and what they look for can be summed up in one word: character.
People in Maine respect you for who you are and not for what you've accomplished, and big deal that I've won the Boston Marathon and set a world record. That's just part of my life.
Real Mainers like to work and restore. Joan Benoit has done a lot of both, working as a marathoner must work, restoring her own body from injuries that would have stopped most people. She started to run as rehabilitation after breaking a leg skiing as a teenager. After winning the Boston Marathon in 1979, she had 3 leg operations in the next 2 years. Just 17 days before the Olympic trials, she had arthroscopic surgery on her right knee. But in a remarkable display of courage and determination, she won the trial. Still, marathoning is kept in perspective. And oh yes, there is a man. Here she is skating last winter with her husband-to-be, Scott Samuelson. Getting ready for a wedding and an Olympics must be difficult.
We talked about postponing the engagement and everything, but as I said to Scott, how can I put a thing before a person? You're too important to me, and I think we should go through this together. And he's been very unselfish and very supportive, and I'm just hoping I can do for him what he's done for me after my running's over.
It's a long way from the wintry ocean of Maine to the sunny shores of California, but Joan Benoit has overcome more difficult things than a 3-hour time difference.
Just ask anybody in Olympia, Washington. That was just an incredible accomplishment that day, and there she is with the cap on backwards, warming up. They put a little beanie with a propeller on top of her head after she crossed the finish line. Julie Brown, who is one of the American runners. There are 3 from the United States. She was second in the Olympic trials, and it really doesn't matter in the trials whether you finished first or second or third. Even though Benoit won it, it was simply a case of finishing in the top 3, and Brown ran a very steady, well-paced race that day, and probably wound up conserving a little bit of energy by not chasing Benoit at the end. There have been 11 weeks now that have elapsed since the marathon trials in Olympia, which some may say is a relatively short period of time. Meanwhile, Jim Lampley is out at the track, and let's check in with Jim right now.
Well, Al, as the runners move up and down the track to warm up, there's a curiously quiet atmosphere here.